but nothing to do with the content you are used to seeing on this channel. Today, it's something a little more, you could say, intimate. I don't know if I'm getting old or what, but something happened to me last night that I want to expose it on the channel, even if it has nothing to do with it. So you're not going to watch a dynamic video. I'm going to be talking. You can leave it in the background. But I think it's something that a lot of people think, and not everyone talks about this topic. So let's start with this. We could say reflection. Last night I was watching a video clip from the 90s. Nothing special, just a song where there were people dancing, moving, looking at each other. But suddenly I was thinking, more in that than in the music, because what I saw was not people dancing. I saw something that today I feel more and more scarce. The same space, looking at or just being there in the same place. And I want to clarify something very important from the beginning now. I'm not. In fact, if you know me what I do, you know that I am the opposite. I love it. I understand it. I use it. I enjoy it. And also because of what I do on this channel, I need it. Let's go back to the past. But there is a part of all this that has been making noise for a while now, not since last night, because I saw that video. But that video clip triggered it for me. I said it is something personal, and I feel that we are losing something in human relationships, something that is not an abstract concept. It is also not nostalgia. It is not cheap romanticism. It is something very concrete that is present. The presence of truth, being in front of someone, sharing the same air, the silence, the moment. That thing that happens when you are with another person and you are not only talking, but you are living the encounter. Because, as we know, a human relationship is not just information. It's not that I told you. Or what did you answer me? It's also the tone in that conversation, the looks. It's also that silence that doesn't bother, or the silence that makes you uncomfortable, but that tells you something. In that microsecond when you realize if the other person is connected to you or is thinking about something else. And no message replaces that. Not because the message is bad, but because it is something else. It is totally different. And be careful, this happens to me. I mean, I don't say it as if I'm out of all this. I'm inside like everyone else. And that's why I sometimes think we're in a time where we talk a lot with a lot of people, but we never meet, where we are available, but not present. And the worst thing is that it is comfortable because it is easy. Because if you feel lonely, you unlock the phone, in 5 seconds you have some kind of stimulus. For example, a talk, a noise, you have something. But I ask myself something, is that company or is it anesthesia? Because it is one thing to be connected and another thing to be accompanied. And I don't say this as a criticism of anyone, because I do it too. I say it because I feel it, and because I notice it more and more. For example, before, if you wanted to meet someone, you had to go. Encourage yourself to go. Talk to that person. For example, you had to go and put your body, you had to go there. I'm going to talk to you. You had to get closer. See if the other person was looking at you, if they wanted to talk to you, if there was a vibe, and if not. And well, stay in that uncomfortable moment of exposing yourself. But that moment was part of life, whether you liked it or not. And for me, that also helped to build your personality. You could also say that it trained you and made you more human. But today, many times, everything starts with distance. It all starts with a text message, WhatsApp, Discord, or any type of chat. And the text gives you something that real life doesn't give you, which is control. Because you can think about it for a long time, you can edit, you can send or respond whenever you want, you can even disappear, that is, not answer. Or you can simply respond with an emoji to something that a person would force you to hold a gaze, and that, with the text you can avoid it, that discomfort. And be careful that I am not saying that this is bad in itself, but I feel that it has a cost. Because when you avoid that many times, you also prevent growth. And here I am going to allow myself to give a personal experience is not at all to be pitiful, because those who know me know that I say it for perhaps someone else. Those who know I'm a stutterer. And well, many years ago I avoided talking to people, and that didn't allow me to grow up with this, you might say, speech difficulty, and manage that difficulty. But when I realized that the more I grew into myself or the less I talked, the worse it was. So I decided to do the opposite, and that totally changed my way of seeing speech regarding my difficulty. So I wanted to clarify, just go a little, so that you can see that I also have an experience with this, and perhaps I could say it to endure. That what I am saying makes some sense. So when you avoid presence many times, you're also avoiding that real person to human bond. And the strongest thing for me is this. So I feel like we're getting used to relating in a way where the other isn't there. Although it is through a screen, but it is not there in person. It's like there's always an open door to escape, as if attention were a resource that is distributed among Nagajas. A while here, a while there. A message, a notification, or something else. And that over time, at least for me, leaves me with something strange. Because the body gets used to the fast, the immediate and basically non-existent. And the difference is that real life demands. Real life has friction. Real life has dead moments, those awkward silences. Also, of course, real life has moments that are not entertaining at all. But that's exactly where the things that really matter come in. A long talk, a smile that you didn't plan for anything, a silence that feels comfortable, or even a moment that becomes memory. And I know this all sounds simple, but I think that the simple thing is what we are losing. I don't know if it happens to you, but it happens to me that sometimes I'm with people, and yet I feel like we're not quite together. Why? Because deep down, we are 2 seconds away from going to another world. What is that world? The world of the telephone. For a message, for a call, for a notification. That's why it's what I say, the world, that there's always something interesting to watch, something faster, something that basically distracts you. Sure, how does a real conversation compete against a system that's basically designed to capture your attention? So, the question for me is not, is technology wrong? No, I'm not saying that. The question is, who is deciding how I live my bonds? Habit or me? Comfort or me? Because basically the risk I see is the silent risk. It's that one day you realize that you talk to a lot of people, but you weren't with almost anyone. Or even worse, that you have related to many people, but in reality you did not feel accompanied, and that everything was connected except you. And be careful. I say all this as a reflection. It is not a sentence. I do not have a closed answer. Nor do I want to come and say do this or do that. I just want to leave an idea. There are things that cannot be digitized. You can send thousands of messages, but it is not the same as looking someone in the eye and communicating with that person. Through a screen, you can react, you can comment, you can respond, be active, but it is not the same as being there. And now comes another part that worries me even more, because this of us all equally. Those of us who grew up between the 90s have a reference. Do we know what it's like to spend afternoons away from home, talk face to face with another person, meet people without intermediaries, feel the real nerve of getting closer, make mistakes, and insist? So, today when we lack that, we notice it. It even hurts, and at some point, we can try to recover that. But the newer generations grew up in a different form. For me, the first impulse is not let's see each other, it's to send me a message. It's not because they're worse or they're lost. It's because the world taught them that way. It's the environment. And it's nobody's fault either. It is the environment in which they learn to bond. Because they grew up with other rules, and that's where, for me, it's the main point. If you never train presence, it becomes much more uncomfortable afterwards. And if it becomes more uncomfortable, you avoid it. That's what I told you just now with what happened to me with stuttering. And if you avoid it, you lose practice. It's like any human ability. If you don't use it, Let's see. I'm not saying that young people don't know how to relate to each other. It is that it is more difficult for them to sustain what used to be simply everyday. A conversation without escape. A silence without a screen in between, a look without any filter, and a moment without distractions. You were focused on what you were doing or talking about or whatever. And this, for me, is what hits my generation the most, who feel that they are losing it. But there are people who can grow up directly without having lived it completely, so they see it as something natural. And I repeat, this is not nostalgia. Perhaps something basic is being lost. Because there is something that I think is very important to say. Presence is not a luxury. It is a human need. We need to interact face to face with other humans. Be careful. I mean it in the simplest sense. The body needs real contact with the real world. It needs faces, gestures, shared moments, without any editing. That presence becomes optional. We begin to postpone it. Better message instead of going home. And when we procrastinate too much, they put too much in time, well, something cools down. I don't know. Maybe I'm flashing people. What do I know? Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm over 40 and I'm already living old and nostalgic. But, well, I don't think so. I think many people think the same as me, or at least similar. The only thing that is clear to me is that video clip left me thinking about one thing. Maybe we don't miss the 80s. Maybe we miss the most basic. Maybe we really miss being there. And I don't say this to blame anyone. I say it because I think it is important. I don't know. Maybe those of us who are older have to recover that presence, and it is up to the younger ones to discover it. Because, let's see, the truth is that no matter how many digital doors we have, there is something that is still irreplaceable. Knock on someone's door and be there and say, "Hello, here I am," and nothing. Show me. I wanted to say it. I do not know. Let me know what you think. As I said, it's not talking badly about technology or, of course, about the new generations. Not at all. But it's clear that something is changing, isn't it? So, well, that's it. If you liked it or it worked for you, you know, right? Leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And, well, we are on December 27, so happy year. Happy 2025 last, 2020 next year. So greetings to everyone and see you in the next video. Bye bye.